music. Alright, so check this out. One of my biggest regrets playing and learning music is not paying attention to this very important and simple scale, which is the major pentatonic. So I checked out the minor pentatonic, like probably a lot of you guys and girls, but I really didn't pay attention to the major pentatonic, but it's actually super simple, so I want to dive in. I'm gonna add this little bass line so we have a little bass. Cool. Alright, so two chords, right? So we have, we're in a key of C major, I did C major 7-6 to F major 7-6. Simple. Now, okay, the first thing we want to do is understand what is the scale. So for me, major pentatonic was just a random word I didn't get. It was like, I know the minor, what is the major? So, this is very simple. This is the whole scale, 5 notes, penta. Oh, before we really dive in, please click the like button, it would mean a lot. Thanks. Alright, so let's sing this note C. Do. Really simple, right? But I'm doing it because I want to feel the relationship with each one of the notes. Because it's, you know, again, music is all about this tension and release, this feeling of tension and release. So we want to feel it in relation to the center, this C, this tonic that we have with each one of the notes. So again, let's sing it together note by note. Question, what is the most significant first memory you have with guitar? Please drop a comment. Do. And you feel that kind of rub, this kind of friction that we have, and it wants to resolve to Do. So again, simple. I know this is really important, believe me. Do, mi, the third, sol, la, do. So again, you don't need to be an opera singer or anything. I'm just trying to match my voice with this sound so I can feel it and hear it. And again, tagging it. Ask yourself what it makes you feel, and this is an important process. Alright, so we understand that, we're starting to feel it. And of course you can use solfege or just letters, so C, D, E, G, A. Totally, of course, works. Now, before we do it in position, I want to just challenge ourselves for a second and to see it on one string. I'm going to do it on the B string because we have this C here. Because I want to see, literally, C major scale, C major pentatonic, but I want to see the relationship, and we can really see it visually here because it's a whole step, whole step, whole step, minor third to the fifth, whole step to the sixth, and then another minor third to the one. So you can really see it. Turn up a little bit. If you want to practice this idea even more, I made a free jam track. Check it out here. It's yours. And it's so beautiful. I mean, this is just a scale, right? But it's magical, I feel. And again, it's interesting because we're always trying to learn a lot of things and practice and do a lot of stuff. But honestly, I'm playing, there's just 2 chords, simple stuff. And it sounds good. You know what I mean? It's not me, it's just music, sounds good. So if we let it be and let ourselves the time to process, we can actually learn a lot of music pretty fast, especially if we just pay attention. Alright, so one more time on one string. I'll do it on a different string just for the exercise. Let's do it on the G string. If you'd like to support even further, please check out the Patreon. There's a full PDF there for this video and for a ton of videos. You can play it in time or even loosely. When I'm playing it right now, I'm thinking about the relationship to the center. So, you know, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and I'm also at the same time aware of the notes. So cha, cha, 2, 3, 4, G, A, C, D, E, G, A. Right? It's sort of like saying like, is this guitar, a piece of wood, or or is this thing a piece of wood or a guitar? The answer is yes, right? It's both a piece of wood and a guitar. So the same way, we can feel the relationship to the center, we can hear the notes, and we can also try and feel this feeling that we have. So I'm trying to see this thing, this note, in a few ways and be aware of that. All right, cool. So this is, again, just understanding sort of like the emotional landscape of the sound, and that really goes a long way. The second thing, or third, fourth, where are we? The next thing, may I say, is to see the position. So again, framework is crucial with anything that we learn, right? So just seeing literally the framework. Now I'm gonna choose this position because you already know it actually. And I will say, if you're, again, interested in guitar and music, a lot of the points we'll talk about later in the video are also crucial. Some of them a little advanced, but you can actually get a lot of musical sense into you by checking it out. So I would recommend. Here we go. So again, focused, trying to listen and be aware, in like present, I guess, as much as possible. Now notice that I'm starting from here. If I'll ask you, you probably know this A minor position, right? But I don't want the A minor, I want a C major. So I want to see it literally from this point. And this is crucial because this means we hear and feel the relationships within the center. So although you know this A minor pentatonic, you need to drop this A in a sense and feel this as a center. So it's not bad to know this is A because it's a part of the scale, right? Again. Now in time. This was in time core notes, I'll do it 8 notes. So and maybe triplets. Okay, so this is very framework, right? Not a problem, but this is important because if the shapes and where things are not easy, that means that your CPU will work over time to try and understand, and will probably lose the time or not be able to focus on the emotional aspects, right? Sort of like learning a language and just thinking of like how to conjugate. I'm learning Dutch at the moment, and of course I'm taking lessons and doing these actions. And yeah, it takes time and it's a process, and it will take maybe a few years until I get really comfortable, but it's cool. I don't mind. I just know I want to speak that language the same way we all know we want to speak the language of music. So we need to take our time with this. And I'll mention it one more time. Okay, so now we have this thing. I want to solo right now, and I'm going to do it first only on one string. Very simple, and I'll repeat some of the ideas to create some clarity. That means I want to lock things in time. Just repeating this twice. I'm not sure if it's the greatest line of my life, but it's something that is in time and it's clear. I'm not crazy about it. I'm gonna do another thing. Maybe. Maybe I'll go to the A. One more time. And right, it's a process to find the line that you like. And feeling that pause. Here we go. Maybe changing the last note. Or even 2 notes, right? But taking that framework or phrase. One more phrase, and now I'm going to allow myself to use the position of that we talked about here. And notice one little thing that I did this like little slide going from the E flat to the D, right, kind of hinting at the minor pentatonic, which we'll talk about in a second. But we can also, of course, mess around and utilize both the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic, right? So just to hear for 1 second the minor pentatonic on this progression, right, a little more crunchy. It's definitely cool. And then going between the major and minor pentatonic. Right, it's not complicated. I'm just, again, literally moving between C blues, C minor pentatonic, utilizing these sounds, and then going back to the major pentatonic. So now I want to go one step forward with this idea of soloing, and I want to utilize the idea of diet, or what we call double stops. So for me, this is something that I always really was into, but I never really knew how to do it, if you may say so. So I just I didn't understand. It sounded really cool, but I was like, how does that really work? So what we're gonna do is, again, first look at the framework. Really simple. So I'm going to take this position that we're doing, and I'm gonna grab 2 notes, and the 2 notes are basically thirds in the major pentatonic. So it would sound like this. Alright, so this is melodic. This is literally the 2 notes separated, but now I'm gonna play them slowly, even slower in time, but now this will be harmonic. So 2 notes together. You go 2, cha, cha. Right, and that's really cool. And that sound we get when we play, you know. What I want to do is, again, one of the ways to internalize information is, of course, learn the grid, practicing it, trying to see it, understand it, hear it, sing it, etc. But also bring it to the playground and playing with it and trying some stuff out. So I'm going to play a line and contrast that line with a diet or a double stop, right? So basically like sort of question and answer, if you will. Again, try something else. Or the same kind of phrase. Let's try something else now. And that was a mistake, actually, because it should have been, because it's not B here, it needs to be C, so I made a mistake. It's cool, it's also an option, it's not wrong with the chords, but for our scale it should have been that, more so I'll play it again. I think I did. Okay. I basically did the same pattern, I'll show you. And again, I'm just kind of trying stuff out, and I like this idea of the pattern because you can kind of see the same shape again. Try this. And it's really, really cool. And of course, the more we get comfortable, we can be more creative with these things. Now, another cool thing that I like doing, and I think is really helpful to kind of not judge yourself and try to get more comfortable with the sound, is actually a very simple act of literally closing your eyes for a second and saying, okay, let me just listen. This is G, this is how it feels. Right, and I was not sliding right because I was sliding with my first finger. Right, so we can all make mistakes, and it's totally fine as long as you know what you're doing and then you correct it. This is the process of learning. This is exactly what it is. We make a mistake, and that mistake triggers us to learn better. So do not be afraid of mistakes. You hit this F sharp, feel the pain, feel the F sharp. So just enjoy that process. I will say one more thing, when we're learning these things, these processes take time, right? So of course the exercise I showed you were on one position. I would probably do it on a few positions. Right, just kind of mapping. Mapping the scale as much as possible and taking our time. You know, it's a process, like I'm repeating and saying, because we need to remember that, and it, you know, it just takes time, and it's totally fine. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate y'all hanging out here. So thank you, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out.